in this video I'm gonna reveal to you 4 major mistakes that actually are done by carpenters, right? So that you can actually fix that by yourself, fix your home, make it more beautiful and stronger, protect your family, protect your investment, and have just like a good life, right? We all want a good life. So now let's just dive into it. If you find the video very informative, in the end, share the video, like the video, and also let me know in the comment section. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button so that you can get more videos like this, and make sure that you keep your home stronger and even more beautiful, right? So the mistake number 1 that they actually do, which mostly result into roof leaks or quick damage to your roof, is based on the undertile membrane, right? So I'm gonna give you like different types of mistakes that they do in the membrane, and then you're gonna move to the next mistake, which is tiles, and then I'm gonna give you like a list of mistakes that they actually do, and then we'll go to the next one, which is the third one, right, which will be ridging in this case, and then I'm gonna give you like the list of the mistakes that they do with the ridging, and then last but not the least, which is plaster buttons, right? So now let's get back to number 1, which is the undertile membrane. So the first mistake that you should avoid in order to make your home much more better is that you wanna make sure that your undertile membrane has appropriate tension force, right? Like during inserting that membrane, you want to make sure that there's enough tension force, there's no too much tension force, or there's no less tension force, right? You want to make sure that your undertile membrane is well pulled, right? So the fact is, or the result is, that if your membrane has more tension force, that is going to result in the membrane being within a very short period of time because it's over fast. But also, if it is less strong, then that is going to result in the water stacking in the membrane, right? And when the water stacks in the membrane, it will cause the damage quicker, and then very sooner you're going to be experiencing roof leaks, because where the water actually starts, you eventually gonna start seeing the membrane rotting up a little bit, and over time it actually gets rotten up very fast, and then that will result into roof leaks, right? So it is very significant for you to keep the membrane like well stretched, right? Not overstretched, not very less stretched, but just stretched, you know, the right way, so that if there is a problem on top, maybe there's a broken tile and the water is penetrating through that broken tile, make sure that it actually reaches the underside membrane that is well stretched, so that that membrane will just collect the water and just like take it down there and take it out simply, without it stacking anywhere or without it finding some holes due to overstretching, right? So you might be not very interested in fixing your home by yourself, but this is going to help you inspect or manage your house when it's being constructed by the people that you paid, right? Just to make sure that your house is well done, right? In any case, you hired amateurs, right? Okay, now let's go to the next mistake they can do still in the membrane, in the undertile membrane, right? Now, another mistake that you should avoid in any possible way or by any means is the overlap of the undertile membrane, right? So every time you insert a new membrane, like, or another sheet, you want to make sure that the upper membrane actually overlaps the membrane in the bottom, right? So that when the water comes from the top, the membrane can take the water downwards all the way, right? But also you gotta make sure that the overlap is about 20 centimeters overlap, right? 20 to 30 centimeters overlap, to make sure that there's no way that water can actually get a chance to flow and penetrate your roof, right? So it's just like that. The overlapping of the under tile membrane, it's very significant. Like, you should prioritize that one. Make sure that the overlap is top notch, and then you can be fine, and your roof will last longer. Now let's go to major point number 2, or major mistake number 2 to avoid, right? So this is based on tiling, the tiles, roof tiles. Now the mistake that you should avoid is the non-screwed tiles in all sides, okay? Now the fact is, I know that you should actually screw every tile around your house, right? Like in the bottom line, in the sides, you should screw all those. Make sure that they are screwed. The reason for screwing them is to make sure that they are resistant against the storms, right? Or like the strong wind. They survive the strong wind. They do not get anywhere, like they do not move where they are. They just remain in their positions, right? And when all those tiles on sides and the bottom are tied up, it's actually impossible to move the rest of the tiles on top of that roof, right? Because yeah, it's just like that. It's like the shield wall, you see. Like, if you ever watch the movies of like the old ages, where there were wars and they were fighting with like arrows and spears, the shield wall was like protecting the arrows, right? So screwing all those tiles on sides is like being in the shield wall, or creating a shield wall, right? Now let's move to the next mistake to avoid. The next mistake to avoid is to make sure that all your tiles in the bottom are storm clipped. There's something that is called storm clippers. Now you should insert those things properly. Each and every tile in the bottom, they should absolutely have storm clippers. Like in the edge or in the bottom of your trusses, you should storm clip all those tiles. Each and every side. If it's a hipped roof, then you're gonna need storm clippers all around the house. If it's a double pitched roof, then you're gonna need them in both sides, right? Okay, yeah, it's just like that. Now let's move to the next one as well. We are still talking about the tiles here. Now another mistake to avoid is the improper alignment of tiles. You want to make sure that your tiles align very, very well, right? They are very close to each other. They close the gaps when they fit well with each other. They're in tight contact, okay? No gaps within the tiles, or there is no like less attachment. Make sure that your tiles are very attached and close to each other. That will actually prevent the rain from just like penetrating inside, mostly during the heavy rainfalls, okay? That's another thing to avoid. And then another thing to avoid is inserting the different types of tiles. You see, I've seen many houses, like I've seen many roofs suffering this mistake, right? Now let's just say your roof tiles have a smaller profile, right? It consists a smaller profile, and then comes a very, very heavy storm, and then when the heavy storm comes, it damages one or two of your roof tiles, right? And then for fixing that, you just go and buy the tiles with a bigger profile. Now that is going to result in the mismatch of the tiles, and that is going to like ultimately result into the gaps. There'll be gaps there, and then that will create chances for water or the rain to like get inside, and also the wind to like push through instead of moving your membrane, your undertile membrane. So that is very like significant. If you do that, you will be in trouble. But if you just go ahead and buy the same size of the tiles with the same profile, the same type of tiles, then you would have mitigated that whole danger or whatever, but you would have mitigated that. Now we are still talking about the tiles, right? Another thing that you should make sure that you do is to paint your tiles, right? Now that is going to contribute to the strength of your tiles. Okay, paint your tiles with a weatherproof paint for the roof. Okay, just to ensure that everything of yours is going well enough, right? Now we move to the third topic, which is rigging, right? You want to make sure that your rigging is the proper mortar, right? You want to avoid the improper mixing of the mortar. Like, to be precise, you want to make sure that your mortar have more amounts of cement that will contribute to strength, right? Your mortar will be stronger, it will survive longer, and make sure that you do add a liquid bonding into that mortar, right? Liquid bonding will just assist you with waterproofing. Okay, now those pep joints will be waterproof. There's gonna be no rain, like even the heavy rains, they're not gonna damage that, or they're not gonna like penetrate that. So the liquid bonding will make your mortar even stronger, and it'll make it more water resistant. Okay, one more thing that you want to add into your mortar is the oxide. Now the oxide is going to help you very, very well. It's going to be okay. For example, if you got like charcoal tiles on top, then you absolutely want to buy a charcoal oxide or a black oxide, and then just gonna put it a little bit just to like match your roof. Okay, the oxide has nothing to do with strength, it just has something to do with matching the color. Okay, I hope you understand that. Now another thing that may result into a mess is the absence of the waterproof paint in the roof, or weatherproofing paint and the membrane on the pep joints of your rigging. You want to make sure that you insert that membrane and the weatherproof paint, right? And just make sure that it's solid. Now that is going to be the strongest rigging ever. It will be non-shaken for a very, very, very long time. Okay, do that and you won't have to renovate your roof or your rigging for a very, very long time. It will take you longer to fix that, even though it's going to cost you money to do it, but it's going to help you save money in the long run. Okay, now let's move to the final, which is plaster patterns. So the plaster patterns, they are very significant. They serve as windproof. Okay, they serve as windproof. So you want to make sure that the plaster patterns are available, right? Put those plaster patterns, if you have a double pitched roof, in the sides of gables. Make sure that you insert the plaster patterns the proper way. Put the longer pattern in the bottom of your buttons, and then on top you put those shorter pieces of patterns, right? And make sure that your undertile membrane lies between those buttons, right? It lies between your longer button that comes from the bottom and the short pieces of buttons that comes from the top, right? So that your undertile membrane does not move. during the strong winds. Okay, I hope that is clear. And you want to make sure that they are properly inserted, they're strong, because if they're not strong, then you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a big problem, because you will find another plaster button on top. To be more precise, the short button on top, it's gonna be removed. And that is going to allow the wind to just flow in, and you're probably gonna experience the dust in your house. It's gonna be shitty. So just make sure that everything of yours goes like that, in order to ensure quality and beauty of your house. So I hope you did find value in this video. If you do, let me know in the comment section. Like the video, share the video. Most importantly, hit the subscribe button to get this value every time.